John Schaffner designed the most famous New York City apartment of all time. Except it only had 3 walls and no ceiling. And it wasn't actually in New York.
This is my apartment and I like it!
John Schaffner designed the set of Friends. John is a production designer, and John has worked on a lot of shows.
I've done 44 series and 68 pilots. Dharma and Greg, The Drew Carey Show, 2.5 Men, Big Bang Theory.
And most notably, Friends.
When I get assigned a new show, I do what is called a sketch model in white paper. And you hold it up and you close one eye and you squint and you can see just what the camera is going to see.
Hello!
When we were presenting Friends, I presented a white model and the producer looked at it and said, well, now what are we going to do about color?
What do you want to do?
And I said, I think we should paint the set purple.
Oh.
Everybody was really anxious about
Nobody likes change.
until I painted the little model purple.
It's purple!
Color is really important in terms of establishing the show identity.
Hey, slow down!
When you switched to Friends, you saw that it was purple and you stayed tuned. One of the responsibilities of a production designer is to look into the future, if you can. We put a door all the way up this hallway, and we really didn't say where it went to. I said, why don't we just wait and see where the story's taken? So all of a sudden, years into the show, we've never seen this door open.
I wasn't trying to open your closet. I wasn't trying to open your closet, I swear.
They did an entire episode about this was Monica's messy closet.
Oh my God.
I definitely think that the Coffee House on Friends sort of influenced our culture of where people like to meet and hang around.
Thank you.
And now, of course, 25 years later, there's a coffee house on every corner. I'm surprised how many of them have overstuffed chairs.
What am I gonna do?
In the pilot, the moment when Rachel walks through the door in her wedding dress is a pivotal moment. We made a decision to put the door up here on a diagonal. She walks pow through those doors and straight to the camera. And everybody had to physically turn and look.
This is everybody. This is Chandler and Phoebe and Joey. And you remember my brother Ross?
Sure!
Hey.
Who knew that that was going to be the beginning of 10 years of a #1 show on television? Audiences relate to sitcoms because once you get to know the characters, you become invested in their story. So it's easy to turn on and watch an episode of Friends. It's a comfort coming back to visit with these characters and be with them for that half hour. I'm so lucky I got to design Friends.
When I was a kid, I always played with Legos. I built cars, planes, motorbikes, but now I built an arm.
Meet David Aguilar.
My name is David Aguilar. I am from Andorra and I'm 18 years old.
When David was born, his right arm hadn't fully developed.
This is my right arm. Well, growing up, it was quite annoying because I received a lot of commentaries like, oh, you don't have a hand or something like that.
And while some would see this as a disadvantage, David is just a regular kid. He likes EDM. He goes by the name Hand Solo. Get it? He has an embarrassing dad. He goes to school.
This is my school.
And he can open doors with his Lego arm. So cool. Growing up, he was obsessed with Lego. So much so, he wanted to make it a part of him. Literally.
I built my first prosthetic arm when I was 9 years old, and I built it around my hand. It started being a boat.
Unfortunately, the Lego bricks weren't strong enough, and it wasn't for another 9 years till he would try again.
This is MK1. This is Lego Technic. It's like the sophisticated part of Lego. I can do push-ups with this thing, so it's quite strong. When I first built the arm and it was fully functional, I went to the mirror and I was like,
That model, the MK1, only took 5 days to build. Of course, like any good inventor, he got straight to work on an upgrade.
And this is MK2. It has a battery that works like a biceps, and it has this fishing cable that ties up in here. When I fix this to my shoulder, I can do this. And the arm closes. I can stop in the middle and move it by myself. When I first brought this, they're all really amazed because how can somebody create a hand out of Legos? I was a normal guy, and when I built the arm, everyone was like, "You're awesome, you're really smart." They told me they are really proud to be my friends. It's amazing.
Танки, естественно, не настоящие, поэтому и вооружение у них тоже внешне похоже на оригинал, но это охлащенное оружие, которое стреляет холостыми патронами. Меня зовут Сергей Акимов, я архитектор, строитель. Мы с друзьями занимаемся созданием ходовых моделей танков в масштабе 1 к 1.
Deep in the suburbs of Moscow, in a town called Novoselki, Sergei and his comrades tirelessly work on a pretty unique hobby. Through years of experimenting and prototyping, they've taught themselves how to build life-size tanks out of a garage, all in the name of celebrating Russian history.
У нас 4 человека, соответственно, я, мой сын, мой друг Юрий, мой друг Сергей. Это занятие мы выбрали спонтанно. Хотели отметить годовщину 9 мая. Для нас это очень серьезная дата. И мы хотели в нашем поселке проехать на танке своим таким импровизированным мини-парадом. Я озвучил идею, что теперь мы готовы создать танк. Потом сразу спохватился и понял, что это слишком сложная задача. Но преодоление трудностей делает эту работу такой увлекательной. Огромное количество испытаний, огромное количество ошибок. Мы не вешали нос, шли вперед. Через 8 месяцев у нас появился МС-1. МС-1 – это первый советский серийный танк. Следующим этапом у нас машины на базе Panzerkampfwagen 1. Сейчас у нас в планах 2 машины. Это убийцы танков, так называемый Panzerjäger 1, и самоходная артиллерийская установка «Бизон». Конечно, есть огромное количество скептиков, которые периодически появляются на разных фестивалях с глупыми вопросами. А зачем мы это делаем? Что мы хотим показать? То есть в любом случае, когда ты говоришь о том, что ты делаешь танки, это не остается незамеченным. Конечно, очень интересно, когда эта машина оживает. Можно показать нашим детям, как выглядели эти машины много-много лет тому назад. Как они двигаются, как работает у них подвеска, как грохочет гусеница. То есть это как машина времени. Через труд, через любовь к технике ребят привлекаем к патриотическому настрою.
Box Wars really feels like a medieval battle. The only difference is it's with cardboard. There's rules to Box Wars, but they're very limited. There's no winners. We like to say that if you're in a Box Wars, you've already lost. I'm Ross. I'm one of the supreme overlords of Box Wars. Box Wars is a collective of people that love to get together, create cardboard creations, and then destroy them in an epic battle. It's more about competitiveness in being creative. The only materials that you can use are cardboard, adhesives like tape, hot glue, whatever you can find in packaging. That's the stuff that we like to use to build our suits. Every single battle has a new engineering challenge, like building a giant aircraft carrier or building a monster truck that actually rolls, or a train which has to carry in a whole bunch of policemen. We encourage people to come down to our events and build as elaborate costumes as they can possibly make. Once they've built the props, then we all gather at a park and then we battle. Everyone comes in and clashes and destroys everything. Stuff that we've spent weeks on designing, it's all gone in seconds. It just started off really small, but then all of a sudden it blew up. There's generally around about 50 to 100 people in the actual battle, and then it can be hundreds and hundreds of spectators. We've got chapters that have started up all around the world. We've had groups in Japan, in Europe, in America, in Canada. It seems so childish, but it's fantastic that a concept like this crosses cultural and language barriers. Box Wars is based around comedy. That's the whole point of Box Wars. We're losers. What we're doing is quite pathetic. We should all have real jobs, but here we are building stuff out of cardboard. If you laugh at us, that's exactly what we want.